Welcome to the battleground of the gods.
Welcome, challengers, to Battleground of the Gods, a Smite podcast. I am your host, Step Nation, and joining me today we have Willow1771.
What's going on, bots?
Nevea03.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
And the ladies' man himself, Fro Double G.
You kind of threw me off by having me go last. I'm not going to lie, I almost spoke when you introduced Willow, just out of habit. But hey, ladies, what's up?
At least you weren't taking a drink this time.
That's true. You know, I gave you time to...
You did.
To get ready for it. Well, let's get into our games this week. Willow, how are your games, bud?
I still haven't played Smite. We're on
2 weeks.
We're on week like 4 or 5, and it's not that I just don't. I'm waiting for the season 7 changes. I don't have any real reason that I'm still like what.
I mean, you've got a diamond challenge. I think that's a good reason.
I have until February, and I'm already at Mastery 6.
You say that, Willow? We're already into January. Saying it's
but we have till Valentine's
it's only
Day.
February.
This episode goes out on the 8th? So we have a month and a week before it's due. I'm not that scared. I'll get it done if I have to. Mm-hmm. We'll get there.
Fuck it. We'll just get into it right now. We already wrote it down. Let's call off our mastery, our worshiper rate. Or number, there we go. Count. Holy fuck, am I done today?
Yeah,
Nev told me mine's at 596, so I'm just under 600, so I have 404 worshippers to go.
You're a lot closer than me.
Yeah,
I think he was inherently closer than us.
I was only at rank 2. I think I was at maybe not even 200. I think I was at 150.
Depp, how about you? Where are you at?
That was at 412 when you asked us, but I am at 462. Tacked on another...
Oh, shit.
46?
I'm at 463 right now.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Geb's
gonna roll out and crush your ass.
Probably because I was at 450 something when I initiated this challenge.
Okay, Fro.
I've played one game.
You're at rank 400 when you initiated the challenge?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you my secret
or Mastery
for Geb.
400.
Omnipotence. Dummy
just roll out forever?
Geb becomes dummy thick because you can combo and you can auto-cancel with Geb.
No, it really is good. You 1-2 auto, 1-2 auto, 1-2 auto.
Power pen with a poly
ridiculous.
as Geb, and you always have your shield. The only thing he doesn't deal well with is healers and Guan Yu, which is a healer, but
he can just spam knock him up.
He can. Well, not unless the Guan Yu's dashing through you and you can't turn fast enough because he's already dashing back the other fucking direction.
Just stupid busted in that game mode anyways. By the way, if you guys haven't tried Guan and Omni, it's fun.
Oh, try it. It's fun. If you heal an ally, there's literally no cooldown on the heal. Dummy thick.
Dummy.
Anyways.
Nev, where are you at?
232.
Oh, you played a game since you originally put your number up.
I did. I got him in an assault yesterday.
Ooh.
And I believe I ended up getting a worshiper booster.
Oh,
because
nice.
that was the only game I played with him since I posted my original number. So shout out to Fro for the worshiper booster.
Yeah, that wasn't me. I'm out of those.
Oh, maybe it was somebody else then.
Yeah, I'm out of those because I spammed all of mine playing Heimdall. By the time
so your
update.
Diamond Heimdall is a lie.
Update. Right. So when the last episode came out, I said, I'm probably a rank 6. By the time that actually came out, I was already at 1,100 worshippers on Heimdall. I'm now at 1,390 something worshippers on Heimdall.
Fro doesn't play Smite anymore. He plays Heimdall.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Heimdall fights gods.
Watch out for Fro coming down your mid lane with the fucking Gellerhorn.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I haven't played a lot of Smite. I really don't want to deal with Heimdall right now. Because, like, he's getting a really long patch cycle before they're even, like, touching his numbers. So, on top of him being, like, stupid buggy and, like, super duper strong, I have no desire to play against that.
He's not really that buggy. I mean, just his ult. That's about it. And really, you don't see many people abusing that. You really don't.
No, and I don't think that everybody's going to be out there abusing his alt bugs with the
one thing I
shit,
hate about it is the people that I mean, I have unintentionally done it because I love Naja and Kumba with him because it's just fucking hilarious sending them to fucking space for days. I have accidentally done that, I think, twice with the Naja. Like, I ulted and Naja ulted same time, and we sent the motherfucker outside the map on accident in arena. It's like, oops, that was unintentional. My bad. I'm not that scummy, BMT. Looking at you, Leaf Warrior.
I am very excited about the Season 7 changes, though. A lot of them look really interesting. We'll talk about them after games, but some of the rosters for SPL are looking really... What's the word? I don't want to say interesting, because I've said that about 6 times already this episode, but they look spicy. Is that a good rephrase?
All cooking terms are acceptable when describing anything.
Yeah, spicy. Let's say they're looking spicy. There's a couple that I think are
they're looking peppery
really strong.
as hell. Does that work? Peppery?
Sure.
Man,
nutmeg.
They're looking savory.
Real nutmeg.
Looking savory
They're
as
looking
fuck.
savory and delicious.
Greasy? Go greasy?
There's a couple teams that look a little greasy.
All right, it's now going to be your job when they're officially announced every roster to take a food term
to get
and
a food-related descriptor.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
We got the deep fried egg United. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about some of the teams. Some of them not as much. There's just a couple players that I'm like, why did they get picked over some of the people that didn't? But I know there's a lot of people that wanted to like kind of step down for the year because they wanted to go home. A lot of EU players, and there's also a lot of contract controversy that I don't know all the details about. But if you paid attention at all to the SPL, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah, nothing against Smite.
I guess we can bring it up real quickly. Apparently, all the orgs got together and kind of set what their deal was going to be for everybody in the entire league.
Yeah, they
supposedly.
All basically,
that's all we really know.
Basically, all of them. What's the word for it? There's like a technical word for it. I can't think of the name of it. And basically, they all said all the players are getting overpaid, so no org should be paying more than this much for any.
It's not coerced. Player. I'm trying to think of what it was. Or is it coercion?
Yeah, it's coercion. That's what it is. Basically, technically it's not illegal because there's nothing in any of the contracts disputing that ability. It's just kind of scummy and skeezy and. Just don't do that. We
also don't even know if it's true.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know like all the details, and I'm sure we never will, because what org is going to be like, oh yeah, we definitely sat down with all the other orgs and said blah 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 blah. Nobody's going to say that. The players that are getting signed for contracts are not going to say anything because their contracts are probably going to say don't say anything about this. They can't really talk about their salaries and whatnot. So we're never going to know all the details, but the leaked rosters are looking to be about what they were. I think there's a few that have changed since they leaked that one. I don't remember. I'm not even going to give them a shout out, but there was a roster leak a few weeks back, and a lot of them were relatively close. So yeah, it's interesting, and it looks like there's some teams that are going to be really dominant, and then there's going to be some middle of the pack and lower end teams. We'll see how it plays out, but that's how it always is, though. There's always a couple teams that are ahead. But yeah, that's been my games that I've been playing a lot of Borderlands. I watched The Witcher. If you haven't watched The Witcher, that show is fucking fantastic.
Hell yeah.
I binge watched all of it after I watched I watched episode 1 with a wife, and she's like, "This isn't really my show," and I was like, "All right." And I was off Wednesday from work, and I was doing some work at home, and I just binge watched it while I was doing my work. I watched 2 through 8, so I watched 7 episodes. Worth a watch. Fro, do you want to do your games next?
I got a fucking lot. So unless someone else wants to go first, I'm going to be rambling for a bit here.
After you.
All right. So first I'll start with that I have been doing some tryouts for different leagues, or different teams in different leagues. XE team, OCL team, different all that. I did a few. The one I didn't really care for just because I didn't really like the attitude. Like, literally, there was one guy, as soon as I joined, he's like, called me Solo Double J right from the get-go, and the whole time just kept referring to me as Double J. And I'm like, it's funny the first 3 times, except it wasn't funny the last 20. And you're a toxic asshole, I'm out of here. So I didn't join that team, which sucked because I liked everyone else there. They're really nice. Plus, I didn't realize this, but they booted someone from the team at the end of my tryout. And I was sitting there, like, twiddling my thumbs, like, oh, fuck. And, like, the captain even sent me a message. He's like, gotta do some captain or team captain business now. And then he started, like, talking to me. And I'm like, okay. So I thought he was booting me at first. I'm like, you just say we're not interested. That's cool. But then, like, it switched over to this other guy, and then they booted him from the team. And it's like, it's getting real awkward up in here now. And then I went and tried out for another team. They used to be, the Dream Daddies, and our part-time scrim partners in XE. They were fun. I definitely would join them, like, no problem. The only issue is they were still looking for another potentially, because they may or may not have had someone else, because they were trying out too, and it was just getting down to the point where I realized I was just late to the game on the OCL league, basically, getting teams set up and everything, because of how long the XE league went this split, because it's still not technically done. We got a tournament next weekend, or this upcoming weekend by the time the episode comes up.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how that's all going down, because there hasn't been just much communication about anything on that. Yep, so then I decided that I'm just going to be a sub for a team for the OCL instead, because just being late to the party and my time commitment for the next month or 2, I think that would probably be just the best bet for me. So I'm going to be the official sub for, what's the name in the OCL? Nev?
I think we're keeping, I don't know, that's a great question.
I don't think it's the claws.
I don't know.
I think where's the claws gone? I think it's going to be the Bot G Girthworms in the OCL, and I'm their sub.
Hey, fam!
What's up? Yeah, I'm just going to be pretty busy, so I figured subbing would be the best for me right now. And, like, I was talking to Rick, and I'm like, I just want to play with fucking friends anyways. Like, I don't want to be the bottom of the league team. Like, I've done that, even though we weren't the worst in XE, but we were, like, bottom 3, like, 3rd worst, whatever you want to call it. But whatever. It was there for fun.
Close enough.
Yeah. So I didn't want to be like bottom of the league team. But even if I was, no big deal because I just want to play with friends. So I think this will work out best for me right now. But, and this will tie into some more of my games, I am starting up a team for the 16-bit league, which starts up in March. So that's a bit ways out. My schedule will be a lot more free then. Yep. So I'm going to be doing, if it's still all right with everyone in the Girthworms, because no one responded to me because I asked pretty late last night, so I didn't at everybody. But it will be...
I said the girthiest of worms. Yeah.
Name. You meant that? Because I was going to go with the Bot G Girthworms in the 16-bit league as well. And if not, we'll probably just default back to top tier trolls. But that team is going to be...
I mean, that's a top tier name. Honestly,
I'm not gonna lie, I really like that name. Like when it was mentioned, I think like everyone like fired off a few more suggestions, knowing that we were probably gonna stick to top tier trolls. But yeah, in the 16-bit, it's going to be me, Killer XD Pro, the current Smite PS4 Conquest Olympian, Koja Fox, the ex-coach. I'm not sure if he's ex-coach or not, or what's up with his situation. Of Nemesis GG, the SCL team, and current candidate if he gets to the voting process, which hopefully he does. He has our support if he does, but yeah, for Olympian, he's going to be the next PS4 Conquest candidate, hopefully. And then we got Schrodinger and Bombi from the Discord.
Oh, that's a great roster.
That's a really strong team.
Yeah, well, I had to make sure that and I talked
Although
to
you have
Pirate
3
Wolverine.
support players on there.
No, we don't. Shro's mid. I'm support. Koja's going to be jungle, and Killer's a solo main. And so Bombi will be
Killer's a support main who
Scylla.
plays solo.
What's that?
Put Shro on Scylla.
Oh no, I heard that, Nev. What'd Willow say?
I said Killer is a support main who just plays solo.
I mean, yeah,
He's very
whenever
good
he does
solo,
play
though.
solo, he picks an assassin, because he used to be a jungle. He's jungle solos are his 2 actual main roles, but he will often fill in support. Especially when he plays down, let's be honest, plays down to our level. A lot of times he'll do support, and he'll just do some oddball shit. Like, we had him, he was in a scrim one time, he was our sub, and he was ADC, and he was like, dude, give me Susano ADC. And we're like, if you were anyone but you, Killer, I would say no and shut up and pick a mage or a actual hunter. But I got faith, and he went fucking Susano, and holy shit. Mid game came around, the other ADC couldn't keep up with the rotations, and when you got... And I think we had a warrior jungle. So we had a warrior jungle and a guardian, right? Roaming around, and then all of a sudden here comes a Susano to add to it, and then the solo lane shows up and he's another warrior. It's like, holy fuck, you just couldn't kill us. We did really well that one. But yeah, I had to make sure with Pirate Wolverine, the guy who runs the 16-bit, that it was okay. Like, I don't know how they did their divisions, or certain people weren't allowed, because let's be fair, Koja and Killer are really like higher ranked players. So I want to make sure it was all right that we were all on the same team. Because there's obviously, with me being on the team, a big gap in our team skill. But, yeah. And I know Shro's really good. Bombi's pretty decent. I don't know how he does in the ADC role. I haven't really like examined hardcore his gameplay, but I know
he
he's
likes
a
to
solid
play
player.
Vulcan. Every time
That's
I play
fine.
with him, and he plays ADC, he plays fucking Vulcan.
Well, that's what Killer's like when I'm like, hey, how about we pick up Shro and Bombi? And he's like, okay, who the fuck are these guys? And I'm like, well, Shro, they're both from our Discord. Shro's really good. He's fucking bodied me in lane a few times in different matches. And I'm like, Bombi's pretty good too. Like, I honestly, I couldn't judge Bombi's level, because a lot of times me and Bombi, like, we won't be in the same lane, or we're just on the opposite side of the map, or it's an assault. So I can't really, like, tell you where he's at.
There was one game
like,
this was way back. I think it was in houses, and I was playing a Herc support, and then Shro was my mid and Bombi was my ADC. And at like 7 minutes, Bombi just rotates to mid, ults from mid harpies over the wall, and we get a double kill. I was like, oh, that's why you like Vulcan. He just walked back to lane. He's like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, dude, Bombi is a fucking committed ass boyfriend, right? Because his girlfriend's getting into Smite, but she's actually getting into it. Like, she's putting some hours in.
Hell yeah.
And granted, he made a Smurf eventually, but when he plays with us, we tell him to get off your Smurf. It's pointless. But, yeah, he's been biting the bullet, playing a lot with her. We all know, if anybody has ever helped level someone, like, beyond level 30, like, put in the hours to help teach them, it's a lot of work. And it sucks because you essentially are tanking your own elo a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there are certain games where no matter what, you just can't carry. Or you being on the team skewed it, so you fucked everyone else. Or
everybody else is 0 and 5, and you're 10 and 12 or 10 and 6, and it doesn't matter. You can't do anything.
Yeah, like I was playing ADC role with her a few games, and don't get me wrong, it's frustrating, and I don't blame her at all. Like, especially like I can hear her talking back. She's like, "You literally just said do this, and then told me to do the opposite." It's like, yes, I did, and I meant it, because I say back up, but because he took those 3 steps forward and used an ability, that changes the whole fucking thing. Like, Ymir without a freeze does not scare me. You know what I mean? That type of situation. And it's like, the Bacchus leapt in and he missed his leap, or he already burped, or something like that. That changes us being on the defenses to we're on the offensive now. We got 5 seconds or 8 seconds till back up. And it's really, really hard for new players to understand. When I'm like, hey, we need to play defensive, then the enemy does something stupid, and you're like, attack. You're like, you just said back up. I get it. I really do get it. Or especially when it comes to rotations, where it's like, yo, support, can I get some solo farm? Then, you finally leave, and 2 waves later, I get 3-man ganked, and then it's like, oh, fuck, I'm getting rotated on. And then you're like, oh, well, should I come back? No, probably not. I didn't have wards. It's not your fault. Just go ahead and keep doing your thing. Kill mid or something like that. It's a lot of nuances in Smite.
There's just a lot of little details to learn when you're playing Smite. And for a new player that's already trying to learn what gods do, what items do, what relics are, where to be on the map, what farm is good when, like, there's just so many details that, like, the fact that you're in a 2v2 and the Bacchus just missed his flop and then is belching, then you stunned him out of his belch so he doesn't have his belch anymore, and you have all your abilities and he's stunned for 2 more, or like half a second more, like, all that's just so hard for a new player.
Yeah, there's just a lot, but she's learning, she's getting there.
You guys should do some of those co-op VAI games.
I mean,
like the ones in
Take her into Conquest, bro.
Oh, shit.
Everyone stay in your lane. I'm trying to teach her how to play.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. Fuck that guy. Fucking, you're not even teaching that motherfucker how to play right. But,
shoot.
To bring it on back to the 16-bit people, the way I even got involved with making a team for that is because Pirate Wolverine, the guy who runs it again, contacted me about different things, different Olympian shit, like bugs and blah, blah, blah. Well, then one day he got a hold of me and we were chit-chatting, and turns out he likes D&D, and we got talking about that, and then he asked, if I was going to make a team at all, and blah, blah, blah. Well, he ended up saying, he added everybody in his Discord, which I joined, saying that on New Year's Day, they were going to be running in-houses at 1 o'clock all day long until there weren't enough people. And I was like, fuck, dude, I've been super busy throughout the holidays. Like, I've had plans every day off, all weekend, every weekend. Like, I haven't had a chance to play Smite. And I'd already talked to the wife. I'm like, New Year's Day, I ain't doing fucking anything but playing Smite. She's like, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm like, cool. So when he added them, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Like, I think that's what I'm going to do all day. Talk to the co-hosts. And I'm like, all right, well, added everybody in our Discord and got some people in. And, shit, we just played in houses for like 6 hours. It was great. A lot of fun. We, rotating captains and rotating teams each time. And they even made sure, like, if you played game 1, you know, pick someone who didn't play for game 2. And then game 3, everyone's fair game. But then game 4, if anyone didn't get to play game 3, you know, get them in that one. And it was really cool. Ended up getting, like, Koja, Killer, Bombi, Shro, Drakon Prime, Dubstep. I think Dev joined us. And the highest IQ, Owl. I feel like I'm missing somebody else. But yeah, all them people from this Discord joined us over there. So thank you guys for coming over and participating. That was fun. We also, the teams that weren't playing, were doing fight clubs and shit in between while we waited. Then like custom 4v4 sieges. that was fun. We did a 4v4 siege while we waited. Oh yeah, and Key. Even though he doesn't listen, I'll give him a shout out too.
Fuck that guy. He doesn't listen.
Yeah, fuck that guy. One of the most active members in our Discord, but fuck that guy. In our whole entire community, but fuck that guy. It's ironic how that works out. He still doesn't listen to the show. It's, you know, so that's kind of where I'm at with it, where it's like one of the most active people in our community doesn't listen to our show at all. It's like the opposite of the lurkers, the people who listen to every episode but don't interact with us at all.
Yeah. Which
we see. We do see some of those. But
yeah,
we appreciate you. That's the level you want to interact with us. That's fine.
I just like giving Key shit.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And I got just a few more notable things. I said I was rambling here. A few more notable things throughout the week. First off, in those tryouts I did, the team that I didn't end up joining because of the attitudes, I was sitting there. Right, and we're waiting for the other team that we were going to scrim against. And then Pally Pal joined, which he subbed for us before. I'm like, oh shit, it's Pally. That's cool. Like, we're going against Pally's team. That's all right. Then Key joins. I'm like, oh, wait, hold up. Because Key and I were talking, and he said that he was going to try out for a team too, and that's why he was busy at the moment. I'm like, well, you're trying out against me? Like, you're on the other team? I'm like, well, hold on, that means Kyle's coming in, and then here comes Hey joins. I'm playing against fucking Kyle's team. That's who my tryout was against. And they were doing tryouts with Key, and I'm like, oh, well, fuck. Pretty ironic. Bryce isn't here, but I gotta give shout outs. He did a toss a coin to your Witcher stream, where he looped that song for fucking, like, 10 hours, and he was streaming. This motherfucker was still streaming at 7 a.m. when I was at work. I think it was the day after Christmas. So I was like, well, fuck, I'll listen to this guy. See what he's got going on. He's sitting there playing, right? And there's this Daji who's talking. I think he was in a ranked because he was real rally trally hours. But he's sitting there. And this Daji, who sounds like some fucking, like, whiny-ass kid, is just talking shit about this Geb, like this Geb being useless, and Bryce is like, oh, you know, unfortunate, and he's just doing his thing, being jolly, fucking jamming away to tossing a coin, and then the Daji end up saying something else, and all of a sudden, Geb hops on the mic, and now, I was being serious when I said Daji sounded like some kid, and then fucking Geb hops on the mic, he's like, yo, what the fuck you gotta say? And it's like, oh, oh shit, Geb's here. Radio silence from Daji. The rest of the match, nothing. Dude, he comes on, he's like, yo, Daji, I thought you had fucking problems. And it's like some bassy, deep fucking voice. And he's like, what the fuck going on? You got something to say now? Nothing. And Bryce is sitting there like, yeah, Daji, you got something to say? Just egging this guy on. He's like, Daji, hello? This thing on? Daji, you there?
Comms check on Daji.
It's fucking hilarious, dude. Like, cause mad shit talking, radio silence. Didn't he say shit? At the very end of the game, Bryce was like, well, good game, Geb. Too bad our Daji's microphone busted and she couldn't talk, because they started to come up with random bullshit reasons why she couldn't talk or why he couldn't say anything back. But, oh, man, it was great. Like, imagine that, having to update the drivers midway through the game. Too bad. just random shit. It was so fucking hilarious. Then one more. We were playing an arena. I don't remember all the circumstances except for I was on Heimdall because that's all I've been playing is Heimdall. So it came down to one ticket. We had one ticket left on our side. The enemy team had like 28, 30. It's like 30 tickets. We'll go with fucking 30. It was more than 25 because I know that. They come up. They were being hyper aggressive all game, like stupidly aggressive, dominating us. And they come up and for whatever reason decide now's the time to dive our fountain. Fuck all of you guys. We got the W. You cocky fuckheads. We end up getting a fucking comeback from that. All us. What's up? Don't fucking at me, boo boo. I was so hype. Oh, it felt great. Epic comebacks are always great, but when you're down to like literally one ticket to 30, like, and somehow we did it. I mean, a lot of it's because they're like I said, they were fucking stupid and dove our fountain, but feels good. And now I'll shut the fuck up. Nev, how are your games?
Well, speaking of epic comebacks, I played a joust just a few hours ago with Coffin Monkey and Creed. Shoutouts, by the way, to both of them. Haven't played with Creed in a while, and, Coffin Monkey just always, good mood, good attitude, very fun to play with. So we're playing. I got a couple of joust games to talk about, both from today. But the first one, the epic comeback, I was Medusa, and Creed was Athena, and Coffin was Cuckoo. We were up against an Achilles, an Anubis, and a Scotty. Whew. They were aggressive. We were down to the wire. They had gotten our tower. They had gotten our Phoenix. We had half of their tower. What happened? We somehow win. We turn this game around in one just like march down the lane. We kill one of them, pick off the next one, march down lane, kill the tower, kill the Phoenix, kill the Titan, into the game. And I'm just sitting there like, it was too close for comfort. It was insane. And I can't tell, I don't know if they just like got like a little lax about it and they were just like, we got this easy. And then they just like stopped communicating, or if, I don't know. It could be like a combination of that and like just the team fight that we had because, of course, the Athena taunt into my ult, into Cuckoo's ult. Pretty good team fight combo right there. But I don't know what happened in the early game because like we were doing all right, and then all of a sudden it was just death. This Anubis kept getting me and getting away with 1 health. He did it like 3 times in a row, and I was like, look at my build. You know what I need? I need anti-heal. Hello?
Anti-heal.
Yeah. So I think that helped too. I think that helped turn it around. I finally got the anti-heal online.
I fucking hate it because late. By the instant you realize you need anti-heal, it's too late.
Yeah. And I mean that's really what it was because
or
after I got the anti-heal,
that assault we played last night, Nev. Holy fuck! The enemy team had what was it? Ardio, Cupid, Isis, Alpoash? Maybe not an Alpoash. They had another person who had a heal. God, who the fuck
one
was
not
it?
Posh. I don't remember though. Let me see.
They had a
Let me
heal or a
look it up,
self-heal,
but-
one or the other. But all I remember is looking at that
Yeah.
team and going, holy fucking healing. And they beat the shit out of us all game long. I'm not even, did we win that one? I don't think we won that. I think we F6'd. Said, fuck this.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah, we had some very unfortunate games last night that were like 3 in a row that like 15 minutes, like, get us the fuck out. We lose. Like,
Goodbye. I remembered last night why I stopped playing Arena on Friday nights. It's
Oh
like
my
try
fucking
hard
tryhard.
hours in the
Dude.
fucking arenas.
we had this fucking that confidence on that on her. Oh my God.
Yes. And I was like, he's gonna throw this game. I feel like he's intentionally feeding. There was this on her that just like jumped into all of us. Every chance he got, still got away, and they still won. And it was nonsense. But there was another game. There was another arena. We had 6 kills, 6 to their like 40 something. And I'm like, I don't want to play arena for the rest of the night. Goodbye. Get me out. This is awful. What elo am I at where it becomes ranked arena where everybody's trying to do like the most OP combos? Like I don't know, but that's where I'm at right now apparently.
Yeah, they were some rough games last night.
The other joust with Coffin and Creed, I do want to just bring up real quick because it made me laugh so hard I started crying. I was Yanis. Creed was Athena again. And Coffin Monkey was Hachiman.
Hajiman.
We were doing alright. I was at Fountain. I was buying some stuff. Coffin had just cleared the red buff. And it looked like the enemy team was about to advance. So Creed said, don't back. Clear as a fucking bell. Don't back. As soon as Athena ult takes him up into the air right before he lands, what does Coffin do?
Evacs.
Mm-hmm. It just made me laugh so hard. I was like, Coffin. He said, don't back. Don't back. He was like, oh, I heard back. I was like,
Goddamn
tell
clear day.
Popeye to stop eating all your headsets, okay? Like, I don't know what to tell you. I heard don't back. Creed was like, get me out. We have 6. We lost that game because he was just like, I can't deal with it. But let's see. Other than that, yep, been working on PC Smite still. I had the goal of going into the tournament next week, playing on PC. I didn't realize how quick next week is. Oh, it's rough. But I feel like I'm doing okay. I feel like I've gotten a bit more of like an aggressive fighting stance somewhat on PC. I don't know why. And that leads to me doing a lot of stupid stuff like you were in that conquest last night, weren't you? Or was that after? There was a conquest that we played and the mid lane was one hit and I was like, I want it. I need it. The SpongeBob meme. I need it.
I need it.
I really tried to block out those games. They were not good for me last night.
I was Merlin. I flickered in right under T1, got the kill, but of course the tower last hit me and I died as well. So it was a trade, but I said to Shro, because Shro was in that game at that point, I said, Shro, it was worth it. And he just laughed at me. Yeah, I think that's about it. I was going to do a salty smite, but we're already 40 minutes in, so Depp, how are your games?
Depp's games are good. Playing a lot of mode of the day. I don't know, I tried playing other modes, and then I'm like, well, but there's mode of the day, and it just goes so much more faster.
But
More
Depp, there's
fasterist.
mode of the day.
There is mode of the day. But I can only view that history on my phone. I don't have my phone out. So, the non-mode of the day games. Been going pretty good. Actually got some assault wins. Surprised as much as you are. Got a dual win, got some arena, got some another did an assault with Coffin Monkey earlier. Played Neja 10-18. Felt pretty good.
Hell yeah. I had a Neja game this week too, in a joust.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah. And so we played an arena. Lost it by I think 3. Right? I was doing my usual Thanatos thing. Had a quadra kill. Go in, like, they all just respawned, and I'm like, I'm going for the Penta, and get lit up immediately. It's like, oh, okay, they
didn't want that.
It was because there was a 21-9 Heimdall on their team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you say he's not overtuned, you're wrong. Yeah. Heimdall is strong. I think his numbers are definitely skewed. But, just having fun. Just, I'm excited to see the item changes that are coming out because I don't know how that's gonna work with certain items. Like, there's a lot getting changed for mages.
Well, they specifically put out... Are we moving on to this, I'm guessing?
Yeah, let's move on to it.
Alright, so they specifically put out a huge list of changes focusing on mage penetration because it's always been a hot button topic. If you ask any high-end mage player, they always say penetration is better than power for a mage. Almost always, because most of the penetration items have at least a viable amount of penetration or a viable amount of power that you don't need a ton. Now, I'm not going to go into all the specific details of the mage items. They are saying there's a ton of other items that are getting looked at between defense items and new items that they're adding and the physical items that are getting looked at. But their whole blog post, which if you haven't read, go read, because there's a ton of really good information about how they're changing the penetration stats in the game. But the big core thing that they're looking at is taking away the late game tank killing ability of Obshard, which they're also looking at doing for Titan's Bane, but Titan's Bane doesn't have as common a role as Obshard. If you're playing a mage and you don't buy Obshard,
they are looking at doing it to Titan's Bane.
Yeah, they're not doing the same thing. Obshard is like Titan's Bane.
They made it sound like it was just a magical pen exclusive.
Yes.
But they are looking at penetration in the physical tree, which
they're not looking at it. They looked at it and decided nothing needed to be changed. Just want to clarify, there is no changes coming up or anything like that.
But Obshard is going from an item that scales from 0, it's from whatever to
like 60 or something, yeah.
All the way up to 45, I think was the max percent.
Oh, the percent of pen. Yeah. Yep, sorry. I thought you meant the power scale or the defense that it scaled off from. My bad.
No. From 60 to like 200 protections gave you more, like the more protections an enemy had, the more percent penetration you got, up to 45%. They're capping percent pen and giving percent pen an actual stat that goes on items now. Obshard's still going to have a passive that allows it to stack up extra penetration. Or wait, I'm thinking of this wrong.
It's like a Soul Reaver pen. So your first ability on an internal cooldown will have additional pen on that ability.
Yeah. So it's going to have a flat rate.
Which can overcap. So, yes.
It's going to have a flat rate of 20% pen that you can also stack with other items up to 40% pen. So between Obshard and 2 other items, you can get up to 40% pen. And then for one ability cast, you can get an extra 10% pen. which can go up to 50%. Now, they did say they have to do, after it gets released, that they will do further testing and probably adjust numbers as needed. But this is really changing the way penetration works now that there's a percent pen cap, because other items in a bunch of different trees, the lifesteal tree, I'm trying to think of all of them. There's a bunch of different items in the mage category is getting...
Typhon's Bang, Pythag's Piece, Warlock's Staff, Op Shard, Spear of Deso?
No,
not Spear of Deso.
Spear of Deso's staying the same, if I remember correctly.
There's like one
Maybe
more.
getting adjustment in power. Anyway,
like
I don't want,
there's a few
if you want all the details, go read that blog post. It's got a ton of great information, and I cannot recommend it enough to go actually read what it's saying if you are into that kind of stuff. If you aren't into that stuff and you just want somebody to tell you about it, Duke Sloth has already put out a great video on it. I already listened to that. Really great information, really good explanation as to why these changes are being made, what their potential impact is going to be. So go listen to that if you want somebody to break it all down for you. That's kind of not what we do. But as a whole, this is changing the way you're going to build completely. Not only did they say that other items are getting these things, there's other items on top of that are going to get power changes. So the standard build that you're looking at right now as a mage is going to be completely different by the beginning of the season. So there's going to be a lot of testing and a lot of item changes and a lot of new items. Like Shaman's Ring is going to be completely reworked. There's apparently a new ADC lifesteal item. So don't jump to conclusions until there's a lot more testing. But these items are looking really interesting, and I like the way that they have actually taken the time to look at this as a problem and rework it.
Mm-hmm. Been talking about this shit a lot.
I know
just throwing that out there. Like,
I know you really can't give us any details other than what's already in the blog post, but I know that
I can say that there's
you.
two major options that they were looking to explore, and collectively, this was pretty much so the one everyone was a lot more in line. All right, here was the problem, and it's literally just this fucking plain and simple. No matter what, if you didn't build Opshard, your build was bad.
Yeah, Opshard was just so important.
You going against another mage, better have Opshard late game. Got a Guardian in front of you, better have Opshard. You got fucking anything in front of you at all, better have Opshard. That was its problem.
Yeah, because everything, no matter what, has base protections that gets over 60. So no matter what, you are getting viable amount of penetration off of that item.
And then especially when, like, I know aura protection isn't like super high in the meta right now.
But Gauntlet of Thebes gives you 30. Or is it 30 protections.
30 of both? Is it really 30?
I'm pretty sure it's 30.
Yeah, so
I'm not looking at it right now. I haven't played in like 5 weeks, but it gives you a lot of protections.
I thought it was 15 of both. But regardless, that plus base, you're over. You're already over.
No matter what.
And if anything else gives you any more, for any reason, it just increases your Opshard. It's just so fucking strong. I mean, if you look at like a lot of the meme one-shot builds, right? It'll be, your Tahuti, your Spear of Deso, your fucking, all the, like, your Book of Thoth, capped off with an Opshard.
Yep.
If
you are buying one pen item, you automatically buy Opshard. Like, if you aren't going to buy Deso or Spear of the Magus or Divine Rune, you have to buy Deso, or Opshard, sorry. It's that important.
So,
low-key, in Assault, in Mages, buying Deso out the gate, and then stacking Blessing in pots. If you see, like, even 3 tanks on the enemy team, like 2 Warriors and a fucking Guardian, it's so fucking strong. It's so fucking strong. I never seen anyone do it, but it's, oh my god, I've done it It's stupid. It's just stupid. What should be a late game item is good early, mid, and late against everybody in almost all stages. The only time it's not good is early game against squishies. But even then, as soon as you hit mid game, you're fine. It's that was part of the problem with this item.
Gauntlet of Thebes gives base stats 300 health, 15 HP 5, and you get 1 stack of protections for each of the stacks. At 50, it gives you an aura with 10 magic and 10 physical.
So 10 of each? Okay.
10 of each.
Yeah, I thought it was 15. I thought 30 sounded pretty fucking high.
Well, but it gives you 50. So you're at 60 of each.
You are up there. Yeah, you're at the what's required.
Yeah.
Off one item, Opshard gets its base added to you.
Well, what is it? The only other item with that much, or those similar protections, is Mantle of Discord?
And
Mantle
it's
and
another 400...
urchin?
Which is like a 400... Well, it has more health than Height of the Urchin gives you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It has the same protections that Mantle of Discord gets you. Now, Height of the Urchin is, I think, the same price. It's 100 gold more.
Very similar price. We can talk about how busted Thebes is on another day. It
Thebes
really
is busted
fucking
and
bloated.
is most likely getting looked at for season 7.
So what caught my attention was the remaking shamans again.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
For abilities that hit you multiple times, or is it multiple ticks, or is it like, I'm real interested to see how that works because Anubis ult. The amount of times that ability hits you? Does it have to be like a true like Cuckoo NATO where the ability's on you and then each tick of that ability hits?
I don't think they've... Did they put out all the details about shamans?
I mean, they haven't like posted the finished item, but they discussed what the
yeah, they talked about
they wanted
it being
to do with
a dot god specific item, basically.
Right.
And I think Anubis is the one that everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, this is definitely for him. Oh wait, no. We're talking. This is Spear of Magus, not Shaman's Ring. Shaman's Ring is the one that they haven't said anything about because they're making it completely different. Spear of the Magus.
Okay, Spear of the Magus then
is the pen item that used to be viable for pretty much everybody.
It used to be like an item with Anubis passive, basically.
Yeah, it's stupid. And if you could continue to proc it, it'd be awesome.
Insert the argument we just made about Opshard. If you're a ticking god like Cuckoo or Anubis, now replace that or add on Magus.
Yeah. With
its own little caveat. Same reasoning. Oh my god. Like,
watch
seriously, a Magus Opshard on Anubis was ridiculous. Oh my god.
And he'd be full health by the time he's done with his ult.
Yeah. Like, that's one thing Anubis players didn't understand. You literally only need to buy, 2 lifesteal and those 2 pen items, and I can't kill
Boots.
you. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find what they said for shamans, or
I'm pretty sure shamans is the one they haven't said anything about.
Yeah, I don't think they've said much about shamans.
Spear of the Magus, they said it's going to be
now
dot
again,
focused.
Little caveat, this episode's going to be released the day they're doing patch notes, so
yeah,
a lot of this stuff they probably will cover.
Here's how they have it written up is it's a new passive replacing the old one, and it's now increasing damage from subsequent hits of the same ability.
Yeah. So like Anubis and Kukulkan, and those are really the 2 that come to mind.
But my thing is I'll hop into Smite game here, pull up my Anubis.
His ult takes 30 times, we know.
Yeah. So increase, it's kind of pitiful
if that
damage
becomes a
at
problem,
the beginning.
that's literally just a simple switch. They just put a cap on it.
Right.
I'm not sure if they have or have not. They might. It might be when you get the full item description, caps at 6. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't go overboard.
Yeah, because most ticks are about 5 to 6 ticks, but then there's the ones that are outside of that basically
They might
break
even
that
find that they
passive.
need to cap it at 3 because of how strong it is. So even if you are a tick person, it
I
only
was-
does 3. I don't know. We'll find
Well,
out.
and in mode of the day where you can apply a dot again.
We are
after...
not balancing fucking anything around omnipotence.
Yeah, fuck that. All right,
You gotta understand. It took a few of us, and I'm sure it wasn't just us. I'm sure in the other Discords people did too. But you know how much of a whiny bitch I was about Yamoja and Emoja in the Omni. I'm like this, like I was like Fallout banner, like ban her. After the first day of doing it, I'm like, all right, that's the fun. We had our fun. Ban her
Right
now for
ban
good.
Her.
Any mode, ban her. And then that was kind of, I kind of was caught off guard when they did the Arthur too, but that's very understandable why. Because anyone who's been
because he can literally ult you on repeat.
Yeah,
I know
exactly. For Camelot for Avalon, for Camelot for Avalon, for Camelot for Avalon.
I get it.
That was the dumbest
being
thing.
in a party. Imagine being in a party with Rick when he hits that, because he screams it every time.
Every time.
For Camelot, for Avalon.
On repeat.
Imagine them giving Rod of Tahuti more magical power.
Well, Ratatouille's kind of fallen off in season 6, so I'm not surprised.
Healers, please
It's because of
fucking buy
threshold.
Ratatouille. Please, all healers.
Yeah.
Thank you. We've covered
Yeah.
this already. I don't know why people aren't doing it. Fucking buy
Works
it.
on your allies.
Works on your allies. Makes your heals more powerful. Like,
Yep.
literally the only healer I don't think it'd be the great on is, like, Yamoja, Artio, even though she's pseudo healer. Like, pretty much so the Guardians. If you're a mage, your heal scales off power. Please ramp your power through the fucking roof. Thank you.
But I want to build tanky and cooldown.
No, you don't. You want to build power and heal me. Fucking Christ. Okay, the cooldown's understandable, but no, don't build tanky.
Okay, can I just bring this up because I find it interesting? They are officially adding more power to Chronos Pendant. How much is that going to be bought by literally every new player ever again?
Is that a problem?
I mean, it's
though?
a good item. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a problem, because I'm hoping it gets to a place where it can be a viable item in builds again. But it is already overbought, in my opinion.
Probably, but it's easy and it works.
It falls
I'm
under
excited
new player
seeing
friendly.
Soul Gem.
Yeah, exactly. It's very new player friendly.
I like seeing Soul Gem getting more power.
Yeah, I'm liking the items that they're giving new power or more power to.
I mean, Spear of Deso,
Yeah, that item's already really
Poly's
good.
kind of low.
Dude,
Telekines used to be real high on the power, and then they lowered it. So that's kind of just a revert.
They ramped up power on the rest of the rings, though.
Right.
Telekines is the one that didn't get anything
And attack
extra.
speed. It's hard with attack speed items to give them power, because then we're not looking at burst, which is what the high power is needed for. We're looking at DPS.
Right.
Can we put Shaman's Ring's current passive on something else? Like, not on the ring tree? I just always
it's on
found it
Magus.
weird that... Yeah. I just always
Or
found
do
it
you mean-
weird that Shaman's Ring was in that tree. It didn't fit the rest of the tree, in my opinion.
It did when it had movement speed.
It did. That was it. That was the only thing it shared with
Yep.
the other 3 items in that tree. And
Because
then they
that
all
used
lost
to be
the movement speed.
movement speed, and then it slowly transitioned to the attack speed.
Yeah. And then Shaman's Ring didn't fit there anymore. That was the problem.
I mean, what was it? Just 2 years ago, there was only 2 rings in that tree.
Yeah, when it was Demonic and Telkines forever.
Yeah, and Telkines was fucking shit. No one bought it back then.
Yeah, that was
It
a really
literally
crap
used to-
item then.
Yeah,
It was only good on the Chronos, maybe. Which even then you just wanted burst more.
I don't even
Yeah.
remember why. I just remember it was not good.
Alquang, right?
Yeah, it was built on like Ao Kuang and Freya, and that was about it.
God, what did it have? It had some weird. It just had a weird passive, and then the whole tree slowly changed. It's barely recognizable from 2 years ago.
I
Literally
agree.
doubled in size.
Nev, what are your thoughts on these item changes as a mid player?
Well, no one really cares, Nev. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, fuck off. No, I'm just kidding.
I think it is gonna, like you said, be something that we definitely are gonna have a lot of practicing with before we can really say exactly what we're thinking. But the item changes along with conquest map changes is very intriguing for me as a mid player, because right now the current meta is the freaking 3v3 in mid, and it's very annoying. So when I see like the new item changes in that light, I'm like, well, that's good, because more pen, there's always a tank in mid now, so that will help. But then I'm like, well, wait, they're going to be changing kind of like that early game start for Conquest because of the map changes. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I've said it before, I'll say it until, I can't anymore. That is one of my favorite things about this game, is the fact that it always changes. So I can't particularly say how it makes me feel yet, because I haven't played any of it.
So I got an idea.
But
then.
how
about you lead us through some of these changes, since we've kind of moved on to them?
Oh, the Conquest map?
Yeah.
I was still getting her opinion on the mage items. God.
Yeah, well, she literally just said she can't really give one, so I was trying to transition.
Well, I mean, at face value, I'm very excited about it. I do like how much everything is going to be changing.
What you want to say what those changes are?
She's still talking about the items.
I was talking about the items.
Oh, you're still... you've already said...
Let her finish her statement. God damn.
I thought she was talking about the conquest changes, because she's like, I hate the 3v3 mid, and it's really bad, so I can't talk about it, and there's a tank there, and the items. I'm like, all right, what are we talking about?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the item changes, increasing pen and changing the way the power works is interesting in the current meta, but I know that the meta is going to be changing because of the conquest map changes, which I'm trying to pull up, and my phone is not working.
Okay, so I know them pretty much. They're shifting. Let's start with the beginning of the game. They're shifting speed buff to 20 seconds instead of 23 seconds. Is that what it's currently at? I always forget.
Yes, it's
23
like 22.5.
Purple and speed are being switched to 20.
Yes. Purple is now moving to a 20-second timer as well, so duo lane can start at purple instead of at the wave. This is going to be very interesting, because at this point, your support has to be in duo lane. Thank you very much, Hi-Rez. This also takes away the viability of the early game invades.
Invade enemy team purple.
There's 3 major things that this was looking to accomplish. A, it's going to make invading harder. You have 3 less seconds, right? B, it's going to incentivize starting dual lane with your hunter. And then number C, right? Yes, I said number C. Number C. It gives you 3 more seconds for your mid to make it to lane.
Yes.
So it's not a rush to get there, because it's a big fucking deal. If you guys don't play Conquest or mid,
if you are half a second late, that first minion's dead and you lose the XP. Or if you're half a second early, you lose an XP from one of the minis or the big buff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or if you level your wrong ability at level 1, you miss all of it.
Yeah.
Right, Fred?
Feels good.
Yeah. Fucking goddamn it. Dude, I was playing with someone the other day. Was it you, Nev? Where I'm like,
it was me.
I'm going to throw my ability down, and they leash it to the side and completely...
Oh, no, that wasn't me.
Oh, no, yeah. It was someone. I was Heimdall. I was Heimdall jungle. Threw my thing down. They hit it before I did. They didn't wait for my auto to go off. Leash it to the side. And fucking... I missed my clear. It's like, well, I missed my clear, and like one of the guys, they didn't get level 2. Yeah, it was a whole... This is what this is trying to prevent. But anyways.
No, what I did was I started my 1 instead of my 3 as Cuckoo, and so I just went to lane. And
Yeah.
Fro was like, "You're not gonna throw a whirlwind over here?" I'm like, "Nope, leveled my 1. I'll see you in a little bit."
Oh, no, you didn't say that. You're sitting there and you're like, oh, I leveled my 1. I'm like, that's unfortunate. And then she's sitting at like T1 tower, just sitting there. I'm like, all right, well, she's sitting there for the invade, I guess. I don't know, watch them cross. Who the fuck knows? It's like 20 seconds. I'm like, Nev, are you going to come up clear? No, I leveled my 1. Well, I know that. Are you going to help me clear? Nope. Okay, well, fucking goddamn.
No, that just because that was my lane opponent was already in lane 2.
Anyways, let's continue with the changes. So next to the speed buff, Willow.
After the speed buff change, they added a new consumable item. The return of Hand of the Gods has officially come into play.
Do the map changes?
Oh.
Or is this the list they have it on their thing?
I just no. In my head, it goes along with the speed buff change to counter the invade meta, which is exactly why the item has been added to the game and only costs 100 gold.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
For a one-time use, Hand of the Gods that does a lot of damage to minion camps.
That scales with
or
jungle
objectives.
blessing.
Yeah, so you can buy this with as your starting item, and then if somebody tries to come invade you, you can just pop it and kill the buff, and they get no XP. So it's a pretty interesting concept. I watched Weekend's video about this topic, like the whole map changes, and he thinks that this is going to be one of those items that is added to the game to defend against the invade, but as soon as invades kind of like officially die out, nobody's going to buy this, because the only other reason you would buy this is to like hopefully invade yourself. So unless you're looking to invade or trying to defend an invade, there's no real reason to buy this item. It's 100 gold. It takes away your pots. It makes it harder to build heavy hammer off the start. So it's viable as definitely viable as a protection item against the invades. But if people aren't going to be invading, nobody's going to be buying this. So do you guys have thoughts on Hand of the Gods?
It's an interesting consumable.
I don't remember if it works on neutral objectives. I don't think it does.
Nev, do you have it up?
I do.
Can you look? I feel like they said something. It doesn't work on neutral.
I know it says it doesn't.
This consumable deals damage to all jungle monsters in a small area around you. You can only carry 1 stack of this consumable at a time. The damage effect does not damage enemy camps or jungle bosses, but it is increased by Assassin's Blessing. Damage dealt is a flat amount that does not scale, and it costs 100 gold.
Okay, so you can't invade with this
secure
item.
oracles. That right there is what I was trying to figure out. Oracles and mid harpies. It'll help with those, although mid harpies are much safer now.
But you can't invade with this item.
Niche. No.
And you can't buy this as you rush to Gold Fury or rush to Fire Giant to try and steal it, because it doesn't do damage to those bosses. Which is a big thing that Old Hog used to do, and that's why supports used to buy it really heavily. Because you could just run in there and steal a Gold Fury or Fire Giant with a hope and a prayer and a Hand of the Gods. But anyway, this item will either be rampant because people are still invading, or it will be not bought whatsoever. That, in my opinion.
You'll see this bought as soon as someone locks in Circuit or Hercules, and that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. If there's a Herc support,
or
you're probably
it
buying
does
it.
have a place where if you have the value on your blue buff or red buff, solo or mid, and you want to help secure that because you keep getting invaded pretty heavily. Not necessarily because invade meta,
but no, like like winning a
dude, if you're playing someone like a King Arthur, would you spend 100 gold to make sure you get your blue buff?
Potentially. If they are looking to steal my blue buff on cooldown, I'm probably buying one of these just to make sure I can get a secure on it.
Potentially. There you go. That has its place. And I think that's about all that really needs to be said. It's not.
It's a very niche item.
Very niche. as it should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I find it interesting the way they did this because
game.
I find it interesting the way they did this because if they didn't do, or if they wanted to add this as a relic again, I think it'd be overpowered broken again. Because like hog meta was so dumb because you would always, like, your support would basically be looking to steal the enemy red or purple or whatever all the time. And it was up every, 2 minutes or something like that? So,
But what about if you were winning and it was a relic? Under the new conditions, new guidelines, if you're winning and you buy this as a relic, I'm on the enemy side of the fucking map anyways, dude. That's a waste of a relic. It would be a real fierce bad.
And it's very
That would be the
interesting.
two opinions. It would either be like, bought all the time because I need this, getting constantly invaded, or if you bought it and you didn't use it, I don't know. It'd be very weird.
Yeah. There's some very niche plays with it. So the last thing that I want to talk about with item changes early on, because I think this is really important for the first 30 seconds of the game, is instead of just having a locked blank relic slot, you now get a, what do they call it?
Vision shard.
Weak ward.
Vision shard. It's basically a weak ward, like Deb said. It's a smaller ward that, if destroyed, doesn't give any gold, but it's a free ward. It's extremely cool
duration.
Yeah, and it's extremely cool mechanic for new players to get a free ward to put on the map to see how cool it is.
I also like it because it's harder for me. Again, currently it might change, but it's harder for me in mid to be able to buy a ward with my starting build.
Yeah.
So
with boots to
that is
Doom and a pot.
Yeah, because I do. Yep, exactly. So that will be a good change. My question, again, like I've said, I am not afraid to ask questions. I don't care if it sounds stupid to you. I just want to know: is this going to prohibit me from placing 2 real wards if this is on the?
I
don't believe it will.
Okay.
It won't
it doesn't
prohibit
say
you
either way.
It will just take
This
the
counts.
It counts
This
as
counts
one of
towards
your
your
2
ward total.
wards.
Yes.
So
Oh,
it does count. Okay, that's
Okay.
all I needed to know.
But it's not like
Now,
you
Nev.
can, like, if you
Now, Nev,
place.
hold up. Before we go too further in this, it will cover that little corridor that mid's ward in the first place. So does it matter?
No.
I mean, obviously you won't have as large as range, so not as much time, but really it's just that path you want to cover.
Basically. I was just curious. Also because I keep accidentally placing wards. So, just wanted to know.
I've heard of worse problems.
I'm
Right?
surprised
I like to
there
accidentally
isn't.
beads. That's fun.
I'm surprised there isn't an Oracle relic at this point.
There used to be. People didn't like it.
Use it to deward. I mean, now that everyone gets free wards, it seems like it would be a play.
I think Chalice should just should be 500 gold and get you a Sentry ward and a regular ward.
How would you distinguish the two?
The first ward place is always a Sentry.
What about if you don't want to place it first?
Too bad you bought Chalice of the Oracles.
But then someone's going to
No.
complain that you can't
No, that's
switch.
way too strong at that point. The only thing of having the, what is it? Let's call it Oracle relic, is you wouldn't gain gold from wards destroyed.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
I just think it's
Yeah.
I just think this is a really good mechanic to get people to ward. I really do. Like if you're on a team and you see 4 little wards, you're like, wait a minute, people bought wards? Oh, there's this cool little thing I get for free. Up to level 12 until I buy a second relic. Like, that's really fucking cool.
And by the way, this isn't a conquest change. This is a smite change.
Almost.
Yeah,
Almost.
this is yeah.
If you don't start warding in my assaults, I'm going to report you.
If you
Yeah,
don't
you
start
better
warding
fucking ward
in my
in my
arenas.
arena games.
You guys
So, you
laugh.
know
I
what
ward an
else?
arena. I really do. If there's an assassin who's
Yeah, because
actually,
there's a
like, doing
Loki on
well,
the fucking team all the time.
well, I mean, it's really if there's any assassin. I ward
The red buffs.
not the buffs. I ward because I want to see them coming up behind me, right by the pillars on your side, because then it'll cover them coming up behind you pretty much so everywhere except for where the wave walks right up the middle. And if they're able to walk up that part and get behind you, they've already spent like fucking a full minute walking around the long way. You should have realized something.
You know what else has changed? Health pots will no longer stack with the health chalice. Also,
Multi-pots
targeting...
will, though, right?
Yes.
Multi-pots,
Multi-pots are
will.
still different.
I'm pretty fucking pissed about this. I mean,
I
it
am
was
too.
needed, but I'm an assault
It was
main.
it was 100% needed, but I'm still mad.
Yes.
This just kills health chalice. There's literally no reason to buy health chalice now.
I think a lot of people will be picking up Baron now. A lot more. Because of his multi-pot chalice.
Meh.
I don't know. It depends on if he gets any changes in the new season. I don't think he'll get hit, like, super picked extra just because he has a Baron's Brew. I just, like, other than a solo laner, now health chalice is dead. Like, supports are going to buy health pots, multi-pots, because you have to be able to double pot as a support when you're in lane. Do you just get poked out too much from the wave?
I think the numbers is you lose 5, or I guess it's, what is it? 5 health per second, so 25 HP 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the difference. But you can still, I don't remember the exact numbers. But yeah, Flair was talking about this, doing all the math, and it's not that dramatic, really. But
it's not super dramatic. It just sucks because Health Chalice was a interesting way. Like, that was an interesting way to add to the meta instead of being forced to buy multis.
No, yeah, I'm just upset because I'm an Assault main, and I like to play a lot of frontliners in Assault. And
We're not going to balance the game around Assault, Fro.
We don't. That's why when they mentioned this, I'm like, it's needed. Solo's pretty dumb. And I literally said, like, that's what I said. And I'm like, as an Assault main, though, I'm upset. But it's needed.
Yeah, no, like, I agree. As a support player, it's something that I use often. Early game, you get a chalice and a bunch of health pots, and then you can take a whole bunch of poke. And then you just literally double pot and you're fine. Like, it's super nice, but it's definitely needed. The fact that you could literally invade and get to, like, I don't know, 50 health and double pot and be fine and just walk away without any problems was stupid.
I still think Health Chalice will be alright because it's still 750 health sitting there in your consumable slot.
I think it'll still get pot. It's just not going to be a support item anymore.
As it probably shouldn't be.
Or at least level 1 support item.
As it probably shouldn't be.
It's definitely going to be still bought in solo, in my opinion.
All right.
Because you just use it so long.
Can we talk about the shrine now?
I don't know how to explain this.
Yeah,
this is
a
wordy
real
motherfucker.
Interesting.
So I think it's, I don't know the exact number on the number of jungle creeps you need to kill. It'll stack up your shrine. Then you can auto attack the shrine to give your whole team gold. Each person on your team can do that, I believe, 5 or 6 times. Again, I don't remember the exact numbers. But they have to literally walk by and auto the shrine once it's fully stacked up. It's really just more free gold for clearing your own jungle.
And it also gives junglers a reason to be in the jungle and clearing jungle camps.
Mm-hmm. Help incentivize jungling. And it only stacks off creeps on your side as well.
Yeah.
So if they do go for the early invade, it'll help offset the cost of hog. That's one thing a lot of people haven't been bringing up. That this shrine, because how much, will someone look how much gold it actually is?
I don't think it says. It says it increases based on the number of jungle camps that you clear, but it doesn't give any amounts.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have all the details.
All right. So it's still, that's what it will do. And it'll just help incentivize being in the jungle in general. And not just your jungler. This will help. Maybe mid needs to auto it this time because the jungler can't, so she's going to go with the jungler and auto this, and then I like how instinctively say she because Nev. And then goes and helps clear back camps or something,
Well, and then the changes so that there's 2 mid harpies on the Fury side.
Mm-hmm. So on the Gold Fury side, there's now a wall that separates that path where the mid camp used to be.
The lane is.
And there's a harpy on each side now.
Yep.
Which will make pathing on that side a little awkward. I think that's really going to kind of buff a lot of assassins with leaps too. Being able to.
Well, you can put weak ward. You can put weak ward pretty deep on that side, and then ward on the other to make it real easy to see when ganks are coming. So I think it makes mid lane a bit more safe.
Oh, it definitely makes mid lane a lot more safe. Yeah, because support can't just easily walk through mid camps and be like right next to you.
And then we're getting a jungle camp on each side by duo lane.
Yes,
kind of behind the Gold Fury.
Yeah, basically,
which is
basically
not
right
just...
next to the purple buff. So if you think of the lane where you walk around from T1 into the jungle to where your purple buff is, instead of going right, go left, and there's going to be a camp right there.
And
it's a single harpy. Think of it, it's pretty much so... What's the strength of it? Like an oracle harpy, basically, a single one. They're called elder harpies. I don't know what on the map are exactly elder harpies. I think those are.
They're their own thing. They're not like there's the small harpy, the regular harpy, and then this new harpy. It's its own new thing, and it is closer to an oracle. Like defense wise, it has that much health and protections. So like this camp alone,
you will need.
This camp alone makes duo lane a duo again, because the fact that you can start at purple and be in lane by the time the waves meet, and this camp
or purple this camp then wave.
Yeah, if you have good enough clear, it'll be tight to do that, but it's possible.
Well, I mean, that might be the new meta. If you get out pressured, go do this instead. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very interesting because this camp is not something that like the enemy duo lane can just walk over and easily steal. Because from what they're saying, it has a lot of health and protection, so you definitely need somebody to tank it and somebody to do the damage. You can't just like sit there and lifesteal through it early game. It's gonna be very interesting. Like I can't say anything other than that because I haven't played against it to like kind of test it out how it feels. But it's definitely gonna be something that's making the support player play on that side of the map a lot more and be in lane probably a lot more. I think we're gonna go back to I don't want to say traditional duo lane because I don't think the support is gonna stay there super long after level 5, because by that point you're going to be looking to like potentially steal their mid camps, or you want to get control over oracles to set up for Gold Furies at that point. This camp still makes you want to lean to that side of the map though as a support player. You don't want to be like all the way at your back harpies on speed side because your ADC can't just easily clear this until later in the game.
I like it. I like a lot of these changes. I think it's going to make early game a little bit more, not, I can't think of the words I'm trying to
frantic.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like
got so much shit to do everywhere. Just gotta get going. If you sit in your lane, you're a bot.
Yeah, well, I'm a bot. No, but I am excited about this. I'm really excited to see how the meta shifts once this comes out. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm waiting to see the.
Who do you think's gonna do good in this meta? Like, who's gonna be your go-to one for the first couple of days? You playing some cuckoo, keeping it safe?
I mean, probably. But Rick might kick me off the team. I don't know. I'll have to look at the numbers and stuff
Why doesn't
when
he
everything
like
comes
cuckoo?
out.
I think we got.
He
Yeah, I
says
think we got to wait for all the buffs and nerfs and stuff that come out before anything. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more numbers to come to this.
I know.
I
I'm
think
asking
Merlin's
who's going to
still
be your
gonna
go-to
be-
person at the start. Like, who's she going to try out all these changes with?
It'll probably still be Cuckoo.
I kind of figured. It was a bit of a loaded question. What about you guys? Willow, you're going to be playing fucking Horus. Who am I kidding?
I don't know.
Well, they
It's gonna
didn't
be
do much to
interesting,
the items
'cause-
that we know of so far.
Yeah, I can't make this decision until after this episode is already out, because by that point we'll be looking at more of the official numbers. I know that there's definitely going to be some god changes, and the top gods are going to get some nerfs, and some of the lower gods are going to get some buffs. But I'm interested to try one of the reworked gods, so I'll probably play him a couple times. Just to kind of see how he feels. I'm pretty excited about his 3. But we'll talk about him in a minute. Depp, do you have a god that you're gonna play some Conquest with?
Not really.
I'm
excited for this new Joust map.
Joust map, yeah. I'm excited
Yep.
I'm excited to see the new Joust map. I don't have any desire to play Joust, but the Joust map looks like it's gonna be sexy as fuck.
Oh yeah, outer jungle and inner jungle. They added speed into the mix.
Movement speed and attack
So-
speed buff.
Wait, what's that?
It's a movement speed and attack speed buff.
Yeah, so kind of like a yellow combined with arena purple.
Old purple? Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of everything. But yeah. I just wonder if it's conquest speed or if it's old speed.
I think it's gonna have its
You know.
own numbers.
But looks like we've got an additional camp by Red in that outer jungle as well. So it looks sexy. Gosh.
The map itself, like the overhead view of the map, is really interesting because they've taken time to really like open up the jungle for people to maneuver through it and get like ganks on people while you're trying to do like your back camps or your
the outer jungle puts you behind Phoenix.
Yeah. Like you can really
And-
if you really plan out your positioning, you can make big plays on like a Phoenix dive or a tower dive.
Yeah, and it's less of a harsh curve. The Titan room zigs back towards the middle as opposed to being straight back from like a line of there being Tower, Phoenix, Titan. It curves back,
Yeah.
kind of like how Assault. There we go. That's the word.
What's
I was really hoping you're going there, not making another joke. I was like, come on, Dap, don't do this.
So, I'm excited.
I will definitely play some Joust just because I want to see this map and how it works. But I like I said, I'm not a huge Joust guy, but this map looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the art, they have a still at the end of the article that looks pretty dope. Screenshot, something.
I've
ready.
always really liked Joust, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I still have to actually watch the, what is it? Developer update.
Did they put a video out?
Well, they've got the two, one for Bastet, one for Odin.
Oh yeah, the little videos they did.
So, and I have it. I read Bastet, which, from the sound of it, it's gonna be strong. Her change.
Let's talk about Bastet.
Think they want to bring her to like the front of the game.
I think Bastet is going to be a new hyper carry god. Like, she has the potential to make big plays now and not just be like, jump in, maybe pick one person and jump out. Like, she has the potential to...
Well, her playstyle now is jump in, dump your kit, jump out.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, the way they've made the changes, she has the potential to pentakill a whole team in a team fight.
Oh, yeah.
At this point. Like, the way they've updated the alt to basically, instead of one of an ability, it's triple an ability because your minion cats are doing the same thing. That's going to be huge in the middle of a team fight.
Oh, yeah.
If you are in a team fight and you don't see the Bastet, you better turn around and look at your backline because they are probably dead.
Yeah. Well, and so the way her cats die now is with auto attacks. So I'm just wondering, like, ability gods are going to have a hard time with her.
Yeah.
Like, a really fucking hard time with her.
Like, there definitely needs to be some play. Like, you definitely have to be able to understand how her kit works and play her at a high level to make those plays. But her kit...
and they kept the annoying part, her pounce.
Mm-hmm. I just think
Which
the kit
sucks.
now has this hyper carry ability when it used to just be like, oh, Bastet just killed me. Well, now she doesn't have anything. You can kill the rest of the team.
Well, no, now it's like she can hit you and, oh, you're going to die now. Because of her passive, the way her passive works. And then ulting and her third ability, the rework on that.
This is another one, if you haven't read all the details about it, well...
Definitely go in.
Yeah,
there's so much
There's
more
so many
to it
little
that...
things to this. Like, the way her alt works is now every ability has an enhanced triple version where the cats... You spawn 2 cats next to you. They're unkillable, but they also do the same things that you do, so you're increasing your attack, your basic attacks, all your abilities, like your pounce is bigger, your abilities have bigger area of effects. You launch out extra cats. The 3 is completely different. Instead of the lash or whatever it was, you're actually sending out a cat. There's too many details for us to like break down each ability, but she is going to be a very interesting god, and I'm sure Nev is very terrified of her potentially in the mid lane, because she is going to kill assassins that are immobile.
I just want to know when we're going to get the Alinity skin for her. Just yeeting fucking cats in Armor 3. That's exactly what I said when they told us about this. I'm like, dude, I want Alinity Basset now. Just fucking yeeting cats.
Yeah, yeet.
But then there's no dog sniffing crotches.
Yeah, we can move on from that
You
one.
get a Scotty skin.
All right. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Do we want to talk a little bit about Odin?
We could talk about Odin.
Before we move on from Basset, I just want to say I'm upset because I was hoping when they rework Loki, they were going to do something similar with him. But now they're probably like guaranteed not to. It's like, damn it. Because people like the decoy, but I think that's got to go. But if instead of his decoy, he were to have like a duplicate version of him that did, like, I literally described exactly this, and it's like, oh fuck, never mind.
Oh, so the 3 has his decoy basically. Bastet's new 3.
2. No, on Loki, I wanted him to be able, basically what her alt is. Have Loki have an ability to be able to do that, where he spawns a secondary Loki that attacks. I was talking a while back with this with someone, but
I don't.
Then I heard about this, and I'm like, well, there goes that idea.
Yeah, that's definitely gone. I think she's going to be pretty interesting, though. So Odin, I'm a Diamond Odin, and I'm not a starred Odin. Like, first of all, I don't have any stars on anybody, but I do enjoy Odin, and I like his playstyle. But this makes him very interesting, in my opinion. The 1 and the 2 are staying the same. The 3 is the big rework. But I want to talk about the alt first. The alt now damages people that jump over or walk through with Phantom. Hello? There's damage on his alt now.
It's a clear octagon.
Yes.
They can be broken when you attack them. If you leave the area over or through an unbroken wall, i.e. phantom or leaps,
Yes.
you will be damaged.
There's damage on the alt now, boys. There's damage on the alt.
I think that's
There's
really cool.
That's good. But
I know
also, it sounds like it's gonna be like you're throwing up a like a Cabrakan ult just completely around you now.
Well, it's very similar to that, except for the damaging effects. But I think this is the best way to handle it. Everybody hated the fact that you just bought Phantom Veil against Odin and he was neutralized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
Can we do this for all walls? You jump over them, you get damaged.
You want Ymir Wall to have the same effect?
I want Ymir Wall. I want fucking
Cabrakan ult.
Cabrakan walls.
If you jump over on her pillar,
Thor.
you get damaged.
Thor wall on her pillar. Get wrecked, son. Who else has dummy thick deployables?
I just find this extremely interesting that they finally added damage to his ultimate in a way.
But you can also get out without the relic now. So
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. This makes Phantom Veil not an immediate necessity against an Odin. Like, you can just kind of forget about buying it and just, as a team, focus down a single wall and walk out. But you still have to focus on the wall.
I guess I don't know, like, the health or the amount of hits.
Yeah,
or
there's
whatever,
still
but
some official numbers to come, but
I'm surprised. Like, I get it. His 1-2, it's like, oh, that's Odin.
yeah.
But also, that's like, oh, you can only use it this one way.
Definitely
And I
not
mean,
true.
I guess, sure, you can jump on him and then pop your shield.
For the highest damage,
without-
you 2-1.
Without
but
this, I guess, I'm interested to see his third abilities
numbers, me too.
numbers and like how that meshes with his kit.
So the third ability is now a charging ability. So as you charge, you have an area of effect that gives a slow. On the first charge, it does just damage, right?
Rune 1 pulses out an attack speed buff to himself and nearby allies.
And then when you launch it, it's just...
Gungnir deals damage.
Yeah, it's just damage. So when it gets to phase 2, it's a stun.
Homing
No, it's a
projectile
slow.
guaranteed to hit. And will damage and slow them.
Yes. And then phase 3 is a stun.
Rune 3 is a stun.
So not only is this give you an engage ability to start casting this and then blink in to hit a stun off of somebody, and then you still have your bird bomb. You can stun somebody while they're in your cage to set up for your teammates, or slow somebody as they're trying to run away, or give an attack speed buff to your team that's around you while they're in the cage with you. That's huge and super cool. They've made Gungir's Might actually viable as a third ability.
And the thing is, I didn't think his third ability beforehand was necessarily bad.
I didn't think it was bad, but it was definitely the weakest part of his kit, in my opinion.
What if they gave his shield? So you know how the shield's got the AoE around it, right?
Yes.
What if they gave that a blind
Like Ra?
not like Ra. No, a blind. So like Shibalange. So when you're inside that circle around him, you become blinded.
I think we're adding too much.
Like, oh, the ravens are flying around me, I can't see.
I don't think that's a bad idea, but I think if we're going to keep this 3, then you can't do that.
Right. Again, just interested to see what goes on.
I'm pretty excited about the newest ability though. I really am. I think the 3 is going to be really fun. I'm excited to try out how the alt works. Like I said, this is probably the god I'm going to try some stuff out on with the new Conquest map because I am super ecstatic about the changes to him. So we'll see. Fro, do you have thoughts about Odin?
I'm just want to try it all out. I think it makes his 3 definitely more exciting. Bird Bomb's kind of Odin, that's his thing. Brings in a lot more of his lore, which I'm gonna love. With all the runes too, which visually is all cool, and runic magic was a huge part of Nordic just lore.
I'm really excited to see the effects they add to this.
Not to mention, people were talking shit about him throwing the spear. Like, Gungnir's big thing is the spear that cannot be missed when it's thrown. Like, that's so huge part of the lore. Like, that is itself. I'm pretty sure we mentioned this in the drunk lore when we talked about Odin and making...
I think so, too.
The dwarfs making the thing. One of them was the spear that could not miss when it was thrown.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I can't wait to see BMT try to one-shot with it.
Oh, I'm excited about that shit.
That's going to be exciting. Oh my god, can you imagine Odin's and Neith's just like...
It's basically a Neith alt for an ability.
Yeah. The cage is definitely interesting. I like that fact that you can bust out of it. I know a couple people have said throughout the years to try that. I think it's cool. Definitely makes his alt worth a lot more while it tones it down in the fact that, like, Odin used to just alt
we can get
and
out
nothing
without
else.
using a relic now.
Well, it used to be the thing, like, you could be fucking level 5 and they're level 19. As long as you got your alt, you can have an impact. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't matter. Now,
you jump in, alt, and die, and you still did something.
Yeah, whatever. Your team's not upset because at least you got your alt off. Now, you have to be a lot more calculated with it in a way, while still being able to have an effect. Like, you're not just your ult anymore, because like anyone can get out pretty easily now after you get those autos and just walk through, and it'll still do something though. But on the same hand, it's not going to be like, oh my god, we don't have Phantom and Odin ulted, we're dead. Like, fuck our entire team, even though this dude's like way behind. So that'll be interesting too. That I like that. We keep saying fucking interesting this episode. That should just
interesting is the word of the day.
Could that just be season like title like
Smite
season
is
7?
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Smite is interesting.
2020. Smite is now interesting.
I mean, obviously we got to put season 7 in the title for the clickbait.
There you go.
I just had to say this. We're gonna wrap up this section. If you are listening to this day of release on Wednesday, January 8th, please take the time and go at least watch somebody's review of the Season 7 changes that are coming, because they are doing patch notes at 3 o'clock that day. And I'm sure Dukes will have a video, Incon, Weekend. Everybody's going to be putting videos out for this because it's a huge change. Season 7 is going to be gigantic when it comes to a lot of balance changes, especially with the changes to the map. They added Joust map. If you're a Joust fan, please watch. If you are a mage player, you need to watch because there's a ton of mage items changes. It's always important to watch all the balances stuff. So please go watch the patch notes and keep up. We will talk about some of the things that we didn't talk about this week, next week, but that's already going to be a week later. So pay attention, try and keep up on this stuff. We're excited for Season 7. I know that I haven't played Smite in 4 or 5 weeks, but Season 7 is coming, man. We got a couple more weeks and I'll be deep into it again.
Balls deep.
As always. So we don't have a hat this week. Our hat person is Depp. Or no, I'm sorry. Our hat person is Bryce. Fuck. Our hat person is Bryce, and he's not here. And we don't have a new challenge because nobody came up with one because we had way too much
we
stuff.
don't have a new challenge.
Oh, do you have one? Because I don't.
Yeah. Duh. Roller Coaster 3.0.
Oh, Jesus.
Hell yeah.
You got Heimdall. You got Najah. You got Kumbhakarna. You got Ao Kuang. And now you can
forgot
throw
Giannis.
in Giannis at the end.
No, Giannis
or
has to
a
be before
Morgan
Alquan.
to repeat any of those.
Yeah, but if
Now,
Ao Kuang isn't at
the
the
real
end, if Ao
question
Kuang's
is-
at the end, he'll get his passive off, and then you don't go up and down.
Oh, okay.
that's true.
I think Giannis would have to be the end, because even if you die in it, your body goes through and travel.
If you're not dead before that point, there might be
you're
a
gonna
problem.
die after frickin' Heimdall.
I'm gonna message BMT and have them do it for me then.
You got to do it at like literal level 5.
Do it to the tank.
There you go.
Everybody build tank.
Everybody just build cooldown and just do it to the tank. I want to see a video of it too. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Who's doing it?
Well,
Let me get the hat. Get the hat here.
get the head.
Get the hat. All right. Mix them up. Bryce. Well, he's too fucking. We can't rely on that guy. We can't rely on him to do shit. Dap.
Yeah,
Let's get it. Let's get it, girl.
we'll get it. Oh. All right. Roller Coaster 3.0. Put it in the chat for me. I'll forget.
That's your job. If you get the hat, you put it in the
We
chat.
did declare that whoever gets the hat has to write it out.
All right. So our Patreons have changed slightly. We have a few new ones and a few ones that have temporarily stepped down. But I want to thank Audios for his continued $50 support. And then there's now I lost my list. Guys. Pin messages.
What the fuck you
All
want
right.
us to do about it?
Bombi, Asbestos Dog, Stofmeister, and our newest $20 patron, SLM. I'll get it right
Gilly.
sometime.
It's fucking Gilly.
It's Gilly, guys.
That's why he changed
Gilly.
everything. It's Gilly.
It's Gilly. We love you, Gilly. Even though I fuck up your name every single time.
It sounds like you don't, Willow. It sounds like you don't.
Hey, I like and retweet almost all his art stuff because it's fucking amazing. Go give that guy some love.
It is amazing.
And thank you for
He
all
makes
the
some really good
help
stuff.
you do in general, Gilly. Helping us with some artwork and everything.
Hell
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. We'll do a CC probably next week. We'll probably do something about season 7 next week. Like, what are your thoughts about the changes of season 7? So be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Also, shout outs to A Wild Deathstroke for all of our
As always.
bitchin' ass thumbnails. Thank you as always.
Hell yeah. I've been putting up a couple
I saw you got 3
our
more up.
backlog onto YouTube.
Looking
Yeah.
good. Looking good.
Any
do we
other
want to
final
Yeah.
shout-outs?
to our potential little
Yo, shout out to my co-hosts for being awesome.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Aw.
Oh, you know.
thanks,
Thanks, Depp.
virtual hug. Send your way.
Yeah.
Do we want
Well,
to
why
bring
don't
up
we
the
get outta
stream
here?
team that we're starting
Oh,
up, or
stream
do-
team?
did we want to get that? Cut
That's
this part till
your
it's up
that's
and
your
running?
thing. That's your baby.
That's your baby.
And Bryce. Yeah, so we're trying. We're still working on getting everybody all set up and everything up and running to basically start up a Bot G podcast Twitch where we're going to have different community members on there at different times to hopefully get them a little more exposure. Granted, it's a new Twitch and everything, so see how it all works. We'll have more update on that, I'm sure, by next week. But just give everyone a warning if they want to start kind of looking for it. The account is made and up and running. Well, I
We're
guess not
getting
up
there.
and running. It's made. There we go. Should be up and running soon. Shit, I just dropped my phone.
It happens, man. We're all there at some point. Dropping things.
So there's that.
there is that. I believe that's all we got prepared for
I think
today,
so.
right?
Just a whole lot of season 7.
Alrighty, well,
It's interesting.
I think we're excited. The end of a season.
It's interesting.
I'll see you
The end of a
next
season is always really boring, so we're always thinking the new season's going to be interesting.
Interesting. I'm excited. I feel like
Yes.
honestly Conquest has gotten a little stale for me this season. So I'm excited for all the changes. Let's do it.
Get us out of here, Dep.
Let's do it. I have been your host, Dep Nation. You can find me at Dep Nation, at the places, with the things, Dep Nation _ if you can't. Fro Double G, where can we find
Oh,
you?
I guess it's been a minute, so I'll actually do mine. You can find me on Twitter, Discord, PSN. What the fuck's the other one? Reddit. I'm forgetting some. Fuck it, just those ones. Fro _ double _ G. Hit me up.
Nev, where can we find you?
Places at Nevea03.
Willow, where
You can
we
search
find
for me
you?
on Google at Willow1771. I will pop up for pretty much everything.
Dude, I actually Google searched me the other day, and I do pop up, and I thought that was
I
kinda
know,
weird.
I do too. If you Google search Willow1771, you can literally find me on everywhere.
No, like, I was surprised with, like, when they even had, like, Twitter pictures and everything up there. I'm like,
Yep. Yep.
exposed.
My Twitter, anything from my Twitter shows up. My Facebook shows up. If you really wanted to try and friend me, I will not accept your friend request. So don't. That's a real good way to get blocked. But yeah, you can find me pretty much anywhere just with a Google search.
Sounds good. Let's get out of here.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye,
Goodbye.
everyone.
Fucking love you guys.